Well, it's one of them days where I'm super late. I'm super tired. Stupid sore. So, I am taking the comfy seat this time. What is up? Mike, what's up? Oh, I haven't seen Mike in a long time. No, actually, I just left Mike. He came and saved me today. So, you say you're asleep already, Mike? I don't blame you, man. Yeah, he came and saved me today. It was a rough one. So, hang on just a second here. Yeah, so I was, let me move you guys a little closer. I actually read comments. But, James, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Dan, what's going on? No, not a whole lot. Just, yeah, I fell asleep. Mike, yeah, you're right. Actually, you want to know what? I'm tired, and like when I'm tired like this, is when I like to do the troll thing. And so I checked my studio real quick to see if anybody had stopped by and left any comments or anything. I always check you guys to come up, see if anybody dropped an idea for a topic or something. So I always check it before we do our live feeds. So, Mike, you're whooped. I am too, buddy. Um, but yeah, the first comment that was there was some stupid comment from Cameron Lindsay, and I'll screenshot it and then you can see my response and everything too. But Mr. Lindsay, he spells his last name like his girl I used to know, but I don't know. He just told me how dumb I was and how I should have just pieced the tree out, all because like on that one short that says it's gonna smash my house. The video's called that because that's what the homeowner's concern was it's gonna smash my house. So that's what I titled the video. It's coming down because they're worried it's gonna smash their house. So where I set the camera up, you're seeing the first stem of that co-dominant tree, and it's been cut off already. So it makes the notch look all crazy and deformed. I've had comments, did lightning hit that notch? Did like, people are funny. And like, I like the funny comments. I dig them. They don't bother me at all. But Mr. Lindsay, I'm going to say it like that every time. What's up, Peter? Andrew, what's going on? Jeff's here? What is up? Climber Clint? Dang. I'm gonna have to start doing them late like this. You guys got a good crew. Yeah, his comment was like, have the climber go back up there and piece it out. It's 3 cuts. Stop having that much leverage. I don't know what he was talking about, why the leverage was an issue, but he said needing or using that much leverage is lazy and irresponsible. So apparently I am lazy and I'm irresponsible because I was able to pull a back-leaning tree over that Mr. Lindsay couldn't. So the comments, the crazy trolling comments at this time of year are really picking up because those guys that are trying to get back out and start working again, they've like maybe worked a day or they're like chomping at the bit to get going. So they're watching tree videos and they're talking about how much knowledge they got to drop some knowledge on you every time they leave a comment. So not only that, he told me that my notch is garbage and I need to basically like hang it up. So yeah, Mr. Lindsay was on one, and I was in that kind of mood to where I'm like, okay, let's do this. This ought to be fun. Billy, what's up? Jared's here too? Dang. What's everybody up to? Yeah, I think we ruffled some feathers with a couple of those YouTube shorts. Like, the way I see a YouTube short, there's absolutely no reason for you to draw conclusions from a YouTube short. You shouldn't be drawing conclusions from a full YouTube video that's 20 minutes long because you're only seeing what somebody wants to show you. So to be drawing conclusions and expecting that angle that you're getting from 50 feet away in the grass with a little bitty camera is the perfect angle and you can tell everything from that makes you look ridiculous when you do that. So I don't know. There's just so many of them. I haven't had comments like that in a long time. Like it's been a long time. But just recently, since I've been doing my subscriber count went from like all you guys out there, this is something I wanted to say. I've said it to a few of you. If you have YouTube channels, take your normal videos that you would put out, okay? Take those videos and make YouTube shorts also. Because the YouTube shorts share to everybody. So the algorithm's more spread out. So they're getting spread to people that wouldn't see your content normally. And it gets you my subscriber count since I started making YouTube shorts. I was getting, let's say, I was getting on average, like I have a couple videos that are over 1 million or so views. So it's like those videos, that's what brings the subscribers in. Usually it seems like. So I was getting like 35 to 40 every 28 days. And now I get like 212 or 220 or something. And that's all from like YouTube shorts. But better have some tough skin because the new subscribers have to prove themselves instantly, I guess. I don't know. Dylan Weston. What's up, Dylan? Freezing my butt off. Yeah, me too, Jared. It's cold, dude. That's why I had fire going. What's up, Dylan? How you doing, buddy? We've got a couple new people in here. This is awesome. I dig it. Like I would be good with just our normals that are always here. Like they just you know. But it's cool to see like the more we do these. I think this is like number 55. I don't ever really know the number until after we're done, and then I go look in my content, and I'm like, can't like look back, and I'm like, oh, the last one was like 55, so I'll have to change this one to whatever it may be. But yeah, just a little advice to you guys that have YouTube channels. Hence why my comment mentioned camera angles. You just put another stick of wood on the fire. Yeah, Ground Pounder, you totally get it. You can show something like you know how it works, man. You can make a little limb look monstrous with the right camera angle. It's the same thing. Like I can work camera angles pretty good. I come from videotaping with skateboarding. I can make a little bitty ledge look monstrous. I can make a kick flip that's on the ground look like I popped the crap out of it. When in all actuality, I didn't. It's working camera angles. I don't know. I don't know. I find it to be funny because the video that they're watching is from a camera that has pretty crappy quality at that. And then, Mr. Lindsay, oh, he just had to toot his own horn and pat himself on the back. And if he'd have been there, I'd have patted him on the back too, because he just seemed like he was the smartest guy that has watched my content forever, except for the rocket scientist from the other day. It was probably him, actually. So. Yeah, you can't get a little nice with it. You got to pay for it with the bad afterwards. It seems like. Yeah, GP. I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to leave comments. I was just trying to watch real quick before I took off this morning. But oh, I can tell you guys how my morning went. Like why it was a rough day, I guess, because it's all going to be in a video. But um, let me kind of just catch up on comments, and yeah, you'll have to hear my morning. It was very eventful. So Really no editing on my part. No, dude, that ground pounder, the video where you just showed the like the stuff to go down, like I think it was for Bridge Burner. The video where you're like, can't get any machinery in here. That thing was awesome. That was a good video. Just to show how tight it gets sometimes, how ridiculous the location can be. But yeah, I got to talk to Greg last night. Haven't had a lot of time to talk to anybody. And Greg's my buddy, and I'm so hard to like conversate with and have like a legit conversation. And like finally got to talk to him. We haven't really talked in a while, and that was awesome. So I got to talk to him last night. But don't worry about the trolls, Billy. The trolls are kind of fun though. Trolls make it fun. Yeah, yeah. It's not the funnest when you're feeling down and then like you read one and it's like, dude, why? Like I've had my time where I took offense to it and I was real offended, and now I'm just gonna point out like, okay, I'm not gonna belittle you and like trash you and cuss you and this and that. This is what this is the way I see it. If you feel the need to come onto my video and tell me how I did everything wrong and pick me apart when you don't know me, and especially if you're just doing it off of a YouTube short, I then have the right to pick you apart mentally from the ridiculous little comment that you left. And I can draw conclusions just like the next person. You know, I think a lot of times that just shows how insecure you are. If you have to bark at all times and tell everybody about how great you are and how tough you are, you're probably not that tough and you're probably not that great. The guy that's sitting over with his mouth shut, doing his thing, not worried about everybody else, is probably the baddest dude in the room. I'm neither. But, like, I'm not patting myself on the back every 2 seconds either, so. Your trolls are entertaining. People get offended that you don't get offended. I know. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. What up, Greg? I'm deep in the edit now, lol. Are you? Keyboard warriors. Yeah. Armchair arborists, keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them. I call them just insecure human beings. Like, you're not a man. Like, I'm a different kind of man then. They make different kind of men. And that's just not me. Like, it's not, I don't feel good even pointing. Sometimes I'll give a tip and like maybe give a suggestion on something, and I feel insecure doing that. Like, this guy probably doesn't want this. Like, and I, depending on how he reads it, he could maybe take this wrong. So I'll like reword stuff, but yeah, that's just, I think about my actions before I do things. And if the reaction that I'm going to get can be negative, what's the sense? What's the sense? Right? Unless that makes you feel good, makes you feel better about yourself, and boosts you up to make someone else feel like crap, then keep boosting yourself up. I don't know. Damn, sorry I'm late. I was hung up watching some ground pounder videos. God dang it, ground pounder, you're ruining everything. Hey, that's some good stuff. That 260 was ripping too. I didn't get a chance. That's what sucks. Sometimes I don't get a chance to leave a comment and then I forget. And I'm like, I'll go back and leave a comment, and then I just, it gets stuck in my long ass feed of stuff. So. Oh, James is your coworker. Cool. Right on. You guys work together. Oh, here. Okay, then let's do this. So this morning, let's just say Davi decided out of the blue he's taking off and he's like going to a long ways away, and like, I don't know, and didn't let me know until I'm like, hey, this day, this day. Oh, I don't know what. No, I'll be leaving the state, and And the dude's like on probation and all kinds of stuff. I don't even think he's supposed to be. I don't know. But I don't think he's supposed to be leaving. A lot. Oh, a lot like Vegas. What's up, buddy? But, so he fails. I'm a man of my word. If I give my word, I'm going to be somewhere. I'm going to do something for somebody. I'm going to be there and I'm going to do it. So, regardless, you know how often I just go do things by myself? Like, it's often now. So, at least I found this out way ahead of time because I'm always trying to give Dave a head up because I know if I do that, at least I'll find out that he's going to screw me on that day ahead of time. If I don't bring it up, he won't bring it up. So, I let him know. He says, no, I can't. I'm leaving, this, that. You know, I don't even want to get into it, but it had something to do with why that limb got him and why he's been so spacey. And it's a long, long, long story, but craziness. Must always comment, otherwise, how would they know? I know, I know. I was in a rush this morning. So let me tell you what my morning was before you get me, GP. All right? Give me a second. Um, so I holler at this other dude who's always asking me. He's like, "Can I work? Can I work? Can I work? You know, I'll do whatever, this, that." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, okay. Hey, you want to work?" "Yeah, dude, thank you so much." I said, "Cool." He has no experience. I don't even know if he could run a chainsaw. I don't really like the last time it was pretty much like being paid to watch me, and he probably picked up some stuff, learned some stuff. He's got common sense. I think he could do it if he wants to. That's the thing. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll give you a shot. You know, so he's supposed to be there this morning. He's supposed to meet me. Let's say 10 a.m. Supposed to meet me at a gas station by where we're headed. So what am I being blamed for? Oh, I was telling you, you don't get on to me yet. I'll tell you why I didn't comment on the video. I would have left a comment too. I feel the same way as you, but I didn't leave a comment because I'm watching your video and all of a sudden my phone rings. I pick it up. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, what? Hey, Steve, what's going on? I finally made it before the sign off. Cool. How you doing, Steve? So, I get a phone call. I'm like, oh Lord, what's this gonna be? It's awful early. It's like two. It was 8 o'clock. It was 2 hours before he's supposed to meet me, and it's him. And I'm like, oof, good Lord, here we go. What's up, man? Hey, man, I just got pulled over. Apparently I got a warrant for my arrest. I was just calling you to let you, or calling to let you know that I'm not gonna be able to make it. You can check. And he tells me a buddy of ours name. He may work. And I'm like, oh, okay, man. Like, yeah, well, thanks for calling. Like, holler at me if if after you get it figured out, give me a call. So, on his part, really cool move. He's like waiting in his car to go to jail, and he's like, I'm gonna call this dude, and that was awesome. So, yeah, I guess he went to jail. I immediately messaged him back like, hey, here's a bail bondsman, get a hold of her, this, that. I don't know if he got out. I haven't heard from him. Maybe he did. I don't really know. So, no, 2 hours beforehand, nobody. The buddy he tells me to ask, I message, no answer. He finally answers me at like 5:30 this evening and says, oh shit, didn't see this. I was working all day. So it wouldn't have mattered. He was working already. So, um, I know, ground pounder. I will next time. So I'm stuck. I'm headed there no matter what, and I'm just gonna deal with it. The thing is, I had a little bit of a backup plan because this guy being so new, I had some rigging that had to be done out over the house and some like concrete pads and a bunch of other stuff. But um, I called Mike Fights. I'm like, hey, Mike, because I had ran into him. I knew he was still in town. I'm like, hey, you got any time where you run some ropes tomorrow? And he's like, when you need me. And I'm like, just a little bit of time, just to rig the stuff out over the house. From this time to this time. He said, just let me know when and where. I'm like, damn, Mike's the man. So get off the phone with him. That was the night before. Well, now it's that next morning. It's 8 o'clock. I have no help. He's not showing up. Nobody's showing up. I'm stuck alone. So I'm like, I just head there. I just start on my own, and I tell Mike to call me when he's on his way so I can tell him, hey, dude, I have no help. So, like, if you want to hang around, like, help me, that would be cool. But if you can't, that's cool because that's not what I asked the favor for. Like, that's not what I asked him. I asked him for a little bit of his time, and he was nice as pie to even give me that. And then, like, he shows up, and I'm like, hey, bro, you want to help me all day long? And Mike, being the guy he is, saved me today. So we'll just leave it at that. You'll see the video. It was fun. Just working with Mike, so yeah. Getting deep now. You gotta watch old ground pounder. Steve getting in on it too. Jeffrey, you guys are crazy. Business is good. I'm thinking of hiring for the summer. Hope I don't pick up my crew from Crowbar Hotel. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, that's the reason I'm late. I like legit just left Mike and got here and was on my way here and was like supposed to go by the pharmacy and didn't make it by there because I forgot to set my clock ahead an hour. I thought I still had time. And then I realized I didn't have time. And then I realized not only did I not have time, I realized it was Tuesday. Like I knew it was Tuesday, like in my brain, but like YouTube Tuesday. It just slipped my brain. And so I like walked in the door. My boots are still on. I'm still covered in sawdust. I walked in the door, came out here, and well, no, Mr. Cameron Lindsay, he got a little bit of my attention before I came out, and yeah, then I came here. So, get you a bucket truck and a loader will help you to go solo big time. Oh yeah, yeah. I just like doing like things for very little as far as like the cost. And then when you start involving machinery, I just like helping. Like if it gives me something to do and I can help somebody out, I'm all about it. I just feel like the charge and like price transfer when you start involving all the machinery, it just gets a little out of control. So I mean, I get those guys that there's so many. You guys have no clue how many guys there are around me that have nothing. They have some chainsaws, okay? Maybe a rope, and they have some chainsaws, and they say they have a tree business, and they run down to the rental store and rent the bucket, that little pull behind Bill Jack's lift. They got like six of them, and they're rented out at all times. Everyone rents them things, and but yeah, hell yeah, Steve, that's sweet. The business is rocking. And William, I think that's a great idea. That eventually down the road, it definitely is the thing to do. But I like climbing. I just like climbing. I wouldn't do any of this. I think if the climbing wasn't involved, like I don't find bucket trucks and chainsaws to be that amazing. If that's all I was doing was like having a chainsaw and a bucket. I don't I don't know. It's the same way with like YouTube content. Like everyone has like the same style when it comes to like crane work. They like force everybody to be the exact same. There's a couple guys out there that do crane work and I like watching their crane work. And the rest it's just hard to watch. I just can't watch it. It's not it's I don't know. If you have a really good crane operator, you have real good communication, and the climber knows a couple good cuts, and the setups like it's like cheating. It looks like it just doesn't even look like a challenge. So, but I guess that's the name of the game. More power to them. But it's just not my thing. It was definitely a no bullcrap day. We just got her done. We didn't no lunch, no nothing. Just grind until it was done. And that was a pretty fat hard maple tree. The wood was harder than a woodpecker's lip. Lots of high production around you. I may be a little late to work, but I never will miss a day of work, no matter how I feel. I agree. Like, I'm the same way. I'll go there until I start to get sick and everything, and I just realize I can't do it. That'll be the only thing that stops me. But I've made like 4-hour drives down south and then get sick when I get there, like, or on the way. Because I have like, used to have chronic migraines real bad. And ever since I got older, they kind of weakened off. But if I stress too much on certain things, I can give myself one, and they just shut me down. Like I need to be in a dark room. I can't really sleep, but I'm so light sensitive, and I just get sick nonstop, and I can't hold anything down. Yeah. So that's usually the only thing that keeps me away from it. If I've given my word to be somewhere. Peter works with some badass crane outfits. I'm sure there are guys out there that got their style to crane like work. And it's just I feel like most people when they show it in tree work, they're afraid to show them riding the ball to go set the straps, which is like the interesting part to me. When it comes to crane work, how you're setting the straps and why you're setting the straps is like showing a rigging setup. So why that doesn't get shown more often, I don't much understand. It's just more like it clips to them tying the last strap on. And they're like, put some odd 100 pounds on it, and they just make a shelf cut, and it just sits there and it just goes away. But yeah, with guys like Dan the Tree Man, that guy he works a crane different. Like he's still like there's not this playbook of like a couple plays that you can only do. Like Dan will think outside the box, and I like that. That's my type of guy. But you sound like you got a hell of a work ethic, Clint. That's what I've heard, especially when it comes to bucket trucks. Like it's definitely not worth it. I think if you're gonna get a lift, it would a pull behind lift is the ticket. Maintenance is minimal, but I okay when I started working for that company a long time ago. I think I had been years into it before I ever made a YouTube video, and they had Bill Jack's lifts, and it took years. Like not years, but like probably I'd say 8 months before I got that thing streamlined to where I had sensors shut off that were just stupid sensors. I bypassed them, and it took me a long time to hide wiring and stuff on those that would be exposed, and like guys would bring brush by it and rip wires out, and then to figure out what sensors did what and how to like counter, like I don't know, like I figured out so many different ways to manipulate and use that machine that like I knew it inside and out. So I think those are the ticket. Climbing is a rush always. I felt it after a big day for sure. Look, there's not a feeling like it. Matthew Sweeney, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Matt? I paid mine over 500 times over. Yeah, the someone who doesn't know mechanic work, like I think a bucket truck would be a rough thing to do because the thing about like the truck, if the truck, like the fact that the truck has to stay running for the bucket to work a lot of times, I find that to be silly. I do. Like, I guess you could slap a generator and bypass and go off of that, but gas is outrageous. That's kind of dumb. Yeah, I know. I remember when I was in a bucket all the time, and then I finally had to climb a tree. It was like I felt like I was half the climber that I used to be. Like I was scared of things I shouldn't have been scared of. I was shaking and like nervous as hell, and only thing on my mind was, "Are you sure there's not some way you could use the lift? I think I could squeeze it in there. Maybe I could put it on top of that flower bed right there." And I'll just take that huge retaining wall down in that fence and get it in here, and then I can get down. And I don't have to climb up there. Yeah, been there, done that. Dan is the man. That's why his name says it. I ride the ball in my video I'm making now. Right on, Peter. I'll have to start showing my rigging. Yeah, and explaining that. I think that's a misstep for a lot of guys that do crane work and do YouTube videos. That's a huge misstep. That's what I want to know when it comes to crane work. Like, it's cool to watch you lift a piece away. That is cool. But the explanation of why you did what you did, why you took that one as opposed to that one, so much. Like people, those are the things that they want to know. Like you'll have my attention because you be showing me something I haven't seen. I've seen a claw machine go pick a toy up and put it in a hole. That's why I like when it's just like picking chunks of log and you just see them take it off the stem. And I was like, damn. Like, damn, this is like paying to watch the claw machine at the grocery store. Like, I can't do this. When at the same time, the guy could be like, yo, I'm working this stem. I'm using this tie-in point because it's my favorite tie-in point for working stems and like moving down and doing chunks, especially with the crane. I set my straps on one on this side and one on this side so that I can keep it balanced and I don't get a tip. Or I turn them both the same way, or I'm using a single chain because I want to get a little bit of a tip out of the piece. Like, there's so many little things. And sometimes people just make it look too robotic and boring and simple. And then they want to make a YouTube video, and it's like, they wonder why, it doesn't get the attention that they feel like it deserves. I feel like that's why a lot of times. But definitely, Peter, show that rigging. I gotta check your channel out. I don't know. I guess maybe I haven't stumbled onto yours yet. Yeah, migraines are miserable, Steve. If they weren't in the triple digits, I would get a spider. I tell you what you do, ground pounder, is you go check your rental stores because those rental lifts are only allowed to get so many hours on them before they have to technically sell them. So you can buy those at a real discounted price and just fix them up. Like do a little bit to them, but you can get a hell of a price on them. Um, that's how the guy that I worked for. That's how he got. I think all of them, all the ones he had, and he got them for a really good price. I think he paid like maybe 20 grand, for the first one, and then I think the ones after that were pretty expensive in comparison, but they definitely was nowhere near triple digits, not even halfway there. So check that out and see if that helps. Nothing can compare to the climbing, Clint. It is what it is. I didn't find a way to get a lift in either, GP. I ended up dealing with it. I just had to climb. Yeah, I think I offended somebody the other day. I'll tell you guys about it in just a second. I just got a couple into my gear song. Damn it. You're funny. This nifty 50 crap. Yeah, those nifty lifts are the worst things in the world. Those are designed to only be used on flat concrete surfaces, I swear. Like, they're trash. Bill Jacks is where it's at. Or then they have those arborist ones that are like red. Those things, like, they make it like a 90 footer or something like that. Those things crazy. They got them on tracks and shit. I got away with it, Billy. I'll be shunned in the tree community now. You're funny. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm at the hospital. What? My daughter's got an ear infection. Oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, kids get them ear infections. Like I remember my brother was really bad. He had to get tubes and stuff in his ears when he was younger, but he used to get them all the time. I felt so bad for him. He'd be in so much pain. So, Rob, hopefully she gets feeling better. You guys can get out of that place. Need a computer, yes, on the computer so I can have it. Uh, if I don't let him climb. That's awesome. Appreciate she should be just it's clear. Right on. That's cool. I that's I picked that up. I'm pretty good at deciphering spell checks sometimes, Rob. I use a Boost mobile phone. That's why my videos are so dope. So, I watched Guilty of Treason's last video where he turned that tree down, the one that was splitting. And like I instantly related to him a lot because in the video you see him walk up to the tree and it looks stupid. The tree is just doing this. In the wind. Split all the way up through it. You're seeing it in the bottom. It looks insane. But he's instantly trying to think of how to do it. When your first instinct when you see that should be no, 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 no. And it's a crazy windy day. It was real nasty out, and he's like, no. His first instinct should be no, but he's like, I can tie in there, I can do this, I can do that, this, that, that. The thing when you're running like a crazy, you're doing something with a bigger operation and stuff, like people are crazy when you go to their place. So if you were to invest your time and slap some ratchet straps, say you were going to put ratchet straps on the tree to hold it together, and you say, I'll check back with you when the wind dies down, we'll get it taken care of. Ratchet strap it together. But if fails while those ratchet straps are on there, depending on the person, I think they could probably sue you in court. So because you actually took the job on, you've manipulated the tree by adding things, and it now is under your control. So I think he's real smart to not do anything and just kind of walk away. But in the comment section, I'm like, tell me the truth. How bad did it hurt to have to walk away from that? Everyone, and I thought about this afterwards. I said everyone that I've ever walked away from bugs me to this day. But I'm just gonna look you guys dead in the eyes. I swear to you, I think there's only been one time that I turned a tree down. And that was because the guy hadn't paid me, and he didn't tell me for sure that he was going to pay me that day. And I told him, I need to know I'm going to get paid. And he wouldn't tell me for sure, and he owed me a lot of money. So I didn't do it. I told him, I'm scared. I'm scared. It's too scary. So honestly, I don't think I've ever turned one away. I'm I may be stupid when it comes to that. But those kind of challenges are what I dig. Like, I love that. My instinct was I stand behind him 100% to say no and walk away from that. I think he's 100% right. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like I wouldn't have walked away. And that's stupid to say, like, because I there's a good chance all in all he's a better climber and tree guy than me. Maybe I'm stupid. But I wasn't there, so I can't say that I for sure would have. But my instinct was like, I started trying to come up with a plan, like what he could have done and this and that. And I didn't leave none of that stuff in the comments because that's not what I want him to think. Like, I just wondered if he felt the same way as me about like walking away and if it bugs him. And then instantly someone's like, why would you feel stupid for being, or why would you feel bad for being safe? And I'm like, oh my God, why do people gotta do this? I didn't say nothing about feeling bad for being safe. I asked Jake, and that's why I specifically asked Jake and not every viewer of his video, if it bugs him to have walked away. Does he still think about it? Like, and I imagine probably did. Hang on, let me see if somebody just. Oh, my knee's out of place. Monty, stop. No, nobody pulls up. But I am going to make this video kind of quick. I'm going to end up cutting her off here in a minute. So I'll catch up on comments. I'm locking up into Charlie horses right now. My knee is out of place. I stood up wrong. Ah. So. There you go. Sometimes, yeah, I've tied in and used the lift for a tie-in too. Um, our lift would shut down when we used it so often it would just like shut off, or a sensor would go off, or a leg would stop reading and it would shut it down. You'd be stuck up in the air. So I never ever went up in that damn thing without taking a rope with me and wearing a saddle. And that was before they started bringing up the rule of wearing a saddle. I just wore my saddle because like I have a small weaver saddle. It's real thin and stuff. So like I would wear it, and I started like I just dog leashed everything. Every time when I had a 60-foot lift, a lot of trees were like 120 foot. So or they'd be like our highest one would get 120 or so. Um, so let's say on average they're usually between 80 and 90 on average. The good size ones probably a little shorter than that. Probably 80 is the average because we do have some shorter ones. But 60 foot, it doesn't reach to the top. So I would hang the tops. So I would have an oversized shackle, like and toe straps that I had, big toe straps and shackles, and I would hang the entire tree off of the stem. I just put a big notch in it and dog leash it to it, and that's where I started dog leashing, was because I would cut stuff and my back got to hurting real bad. And then I would get to limbs that would be too long and too much, and I would cut them and try to hold them and swing them, and it just started hurting me. And I'm like, I'm not doing that no more. So I just got to using straps and dog leash and stuff, and it's cool. Like that trick comes in handy so often. It's neat when I see it done, and yeah. So I'm nuts, not stupid. Right on. Greg, see you, buddy. Hey, thanks for hanging out. You saved my number, and thank you so much for the prayers. Stupid risk taker. Dang it, guys. I brought a damn. My phone's getting ready to go dead. I brought a phone charger out here. I don't even know where it's at now. And now my phone's getting ready to go dead, so I'm gonna have to end this live feed. That sucks. We didn't even make it to an hour this time. I tell you what, I'm gonna do another live feed this week. I'll give you guys a heads up. You guys can. What's a good day for you guys? When would you guys like to do it? Like, if there was another day that I did a live feed during the week, what day would you want it? Me too, snarfing about. I got bananas inside. I never had bananas. For some reason, my wife got them, so I'm going there and get down on them. That and start drinking pickle juice. That's about the only thing that I get Charlie horses so bad that I have to do that. I won't get sleep. They'll wake me up out of the sleep. It's stupid. You all take care and stay safe. Have a great night. You too, Ground Pounder. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I would guess on average is 70-ish, 80-ish, but Clint and I have done several 110-ish. Yeah, I did a tulip poplar one time, and it was enormous. Like, I think it was probably 130, 140. Like, I had I had a brand new 200-foot rope, and I couldn't use it DRT. I had to go SRT with it, and I had a brand new rigging rope. That's what it was. And I was wondering, how did I know that it was that tall? I had a brand new rigging rope. It was 200 foot, and only running off of a single spot, we couldn't get the pieces to touch the ground. And it wasn't all the way to the top of the tree. Not even, like, there's still probably 20 to 30 foot. And the rings were there, and my rope wasn't big enough. And I'm like, holy cow. So, yeah, we had to attach a rope. And I like to use a sheep bend a lot of times when I do that. Thursday, Peter? Right on. I was close enough to a tree to climb out. Yeah, that guy I worked for, he's very unfit and uncoordinated and overweight and kind of old. And he got stuck in it one time and he climbed down it, like the pole. He got onto the pole and started to slide down that and said he's scared for his life. Like, he realized he had messed up, but he had committed. He couldn't go back up. He started sliding. And luckily for him, it was at a bit of an angle, so he could do that. But I got stuck one time with it like all the way up, and the guy that was working the ground for me was like, "Hey, I'm gonna run to the gas station, use the bathroom real quick," and I could see the gas station when I was all the way up in there. I'm like, whatever. So he like takes the work truck and goes to the bathroom, and he never comes back. And instantly when he left, the lift locked up, and I'm like stuck up there, and I didn't have a rope. And I'm like, I'll just use my phone. I went to go grab my phone. It was dead. I'm like, oh, you know what? I got a charger in this bag. And the lift always had this little power outlet, like box on the inside the basket. And I'm like, I've never used it before. It's got to work. It didn't work. My phone was dead. And that guy didn't come back for almost 2 hours. Apparently, he got a phone call while he was on the toilet from the guy who owns the business that we were working for. And you want with him to go give estimates out of the blue instead of coming back and helping. I don't know. I had to wave somebody down that was driving by that knew me, and they let me down. Friday is usually the best for me. Right on. So Thursday, Friday, that's exactly how we can tell the rigging rope. Yep. Yeah, that's usually the easiest way to tell. Um, that's the way like that I'll spot like our rigging too. Or when we go to fall a log, sometimes we'll have the rigging set up to that last piece, and I'll say mark the ropes, put you know mark a spot on the rope, like put a little knot over on one end or the other, and then when you double it up, that's how long the actual log is, so you can stretch it out and be really precise if you needed to. Thanks, Matt. Get your gear up to you, and then you can rappel. Yeah, after that day, I've never gotten into a lift or basket without having my saddle on and a climb line, because like I'll climb in that thing and I'll climb my way down. But yeah, that sucked. That really really sucked. And then I couldn't look at my phone. Like I sat there for over an hour before somebody drove by that I knew, and I just looked at my like I couldn't even like I looked at my phone for a second. And I thought, I'll call him instantly. As soon as I grabbed my phone, I knew it was going dead. It shut off. Like in the middle of it ringing to him. So he could have tried to call me back, but I would have never known. So I couldn't like sit up there and look at my phone because it was dead. I just sat there and sat there and sat there. It was so aggravating. And the scary part, there's this little stop button up there. And like if you hit it, it'll drop you down a little bit. And I even got so impatient, I started hitting that thing over and over and over and over and over. And it felt like it was lowering me down a little bit, but I don't think it was. I think it was just like smashing the wires in the jib. But at the time, I didn't really care. I was mad. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's funny, Steve. That's what I did today. I did this maple tree. I bet this maple tree it was maybe 90 today. Pretty good sized one. Um, and I had two 60-foot ropes, I believe. Yes, they're probably 60s. One I think maybe a little more than 60. But I could only use them like halfway the whole time, and I was having to retie in multiple times, and like it was chaotic, but we got it done. But guys, hey, you guys are the best. Andrew Simpson, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, that's gnarly when you reach the end of your rope. It's like, oh no. Now I gotta like that's why I'll keep speed line straps on me. Because worst case scenario, I'm coming down, if I have my stopper knot in, boom, you stop and you're on the stem and you don't have a limb for a long ways. It's like, ah, and I'm still like 30 foot off the ground. So what I'll do is I'll just grab my speed line strap, throw it around the tree, anchor it off, put a carabiner, throw my lanyard around twice if I need to get really tied in, and retie in right there, and go down the rest of the way. And then, you know, unless I'm not falling the log, but if I'm falling the log, I'll just hook a speed line strap up and use it. Absolutely, Andrew. We'll definitely all have to get together again on next Tuesday. You guys are the best. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get something to eat. I gotta get these boots off. I gotta go cry for a little bit because I'm really hurting. And life's not fair sometimes. Mine's too hard. So, yeah, you guys probably done listening to me whine. And I'm not done whining. So let's end this before you guys start hating me. Alright? See you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you soon. We'll do another live feed probably. And I got another video for you anyways. Stay safe.